A Coronation Street star appears to have accidentally hinted at a major spoiler concerning Sarah Platt's future in the long-running soap. Sarah, played by Tina O'Brien, has experienced an extremely difficult few weeks on the famous cobbles. Last month, she was arrested on suspicion of murdering the sinister Theo Silverton. Sarah had fatally confronted the abusive man in April, striking him with a metal pole while they were on scaffolding and causing him to fall to his death. Following the incident, Sarah sought help from her former partner and trusted friend, Gary Windass, asking him to assist in covering up what had happened. Despite the attempts of her police officer boyfriend Kit Green to protect her from the consequences, Sarah was eventually arrested over Theo's death. At first, Sarah continued to insist that she was innocent. However, as more evidence emerged, the case against her became increasingly difficult to ignore, leaving DS Lisa Connor Swain with no choice but to charge her with murder. Sarah has since been remanded in custody, prompting many viewers to wonder whether her imprisonment could eventually lead to her exit from the soap. However, a fellow cast member may have unintentionally provided a clue about what lies ahead for the character. On X, one fan shared a recent Instagram story posted by Lucy Fallon, who plays Sarah's daughter, Bethany Platt. The picture featured Lucy alongside Tina on the Coronation Street set. The fan joked, "Guess our Sarah Lou gets out then, X." Lucy Fallon, spoiling future Corrie storylines since 2025. Referring to another incident in which Lucy was accused of revealing a storyline before it aired. Fans quickly reacted to the post. One social media user commented that Sarah was never likely to be convicted, while another jokingly asked Lucy what other secrets she could reveal, adding a crying emoji. However, several viewers argued that the photograph did not necessarily confirm anything about Sarah's storyline. Some pointed out that the prison set is located directly opposite the other filming area, above the cafe. Another fan suggested Lucy may simply have been taking a picture with Tina, and that the pair might not even have been filming their scenes at the time. This is also not the first time Lucy Fallon has been accused by viewers of accidentally giving away a Corrie spoiler. Last October, she shared a dressing room selfie that appeared to show Amy Cudden's name, the actress who plays Becky Swain, written on a mirror. At the time, Lucy rejected the idea that she had exposed Becky's upcoming villainous storyline. Speaking about the incident, she recalled being tagged in a social media post, claiming that she had returned after having a baby and immediately spoiled one of Corrie's biggest plots. Lucy said she was confused by the accusations and wondered what she had supposedly done. She explained that viewers would not have known who the name belonged to anyway, insisting that it was not actually a spoiler when the photograph was posted. Fizz is left deeply unsettled after uncovering an alarming clue about Cassie's disappearance in Coronation Street. Ross is Tyrone Dobbs' biological father, and he arrived in Weatherfield several weeks ago, claiming that he wanted a fresh start and hoped to build a relationship with his son. Cassie Plummer immediately distrusted Ross and recognized that his friendly behavior was merely part of a calculated act. Even after Cassie revealed the painful truth about Tyrone's conception, Tyrone still chose not to reject his father. Years earlier, Ross had paid someone and sexually assaulted Cassie when she was only 15, which resulted in her becoming pregnant. During an emotional confrontation with Tyrone, Ross insisted that he deeply regretted his actions from the past, and his apparent remorse convinced Tyrone to give him another opportunity. Cassie made repeated attempts to expose Ross, but he always seemed one step ahead. Her efforts to reveal his true nature failed, damaging the relationship she had worked hard to rebuild with her family and Steve McDonald. Feeling isolated and with nowhere left to turn, Cassie announced that she was leaving Weatherfield to take a job on a cruise ship. Ross later offered to drive her to the train station. While the pair sat in a car parked on a quiet roadside, another heated argument broke out. Cassie tried to challenge Ross, but he frightened her and locked the vehicle's doors. That was the last time viewers saw Cassie, and her fate remains unknown. It is still unclear whether she boarded the cruise ship or if Ross harmed her before she could leave. Tyrone has become so focused on getting to know his father that he has not considered the possibility that something terrible may have happened to his mother. From his perspective, life has improved since Cassie's departure. Fortunately, Not everyone has been deceived by Ross's manipulation. In today's episode, Hope Stape repeatedly asked Fizz and Tyrone for money. Ross eventually gave in and told Hope to take some cash from his wallet. But while doing so, she discovered something unexpected. Hope pulled out a family photograph that Fizz had given to Cassie shortly before she disappeared. Fizz immediately recognized the picture and questioned why Ross had it in his possession. Ross quickly invented an explanation, claiming that Cassie had thrown the photograph at him before leaving Weatherfield. Tyrone accepted the story, but Fizz remained unconvinced. Later, Fizz reflected on the fact that Cassie had not replied to any of her messages since leaving. Despite all of her struggles, Cassie cared deeply for her family, and Fizz believed she would never stop trying to repair those relationships. If Ross has harmed Cassie, Fizz's growing suspicions could place her in serious danger. Should Fizz uncover the truth, Ross may go to extreme lengths to protect his secret. Todd Grimshaw's troubles are set to continue in Coronation Street, as his actions threaten to create a serious divide between Christina Boyd and George Shuttleworth. After the latest revelations surrounding Theo Silverton's murder investigation, Todd has struggled to move forward from his abusive past. In recent weeks, he has increasingly relied on alcohol to cope with everything he has been through. Meanwhile, Christina has developed a serious problem with excessive spending, putting growing pressure on her relationship with George. However, their situation is about to become even more complicated when Todd drives another wedge between them. Christina and George are getting ready for their planned trip to Somerset, where they intend to visit members of George's family. Their excitement quickly disappears when Todd accidentally reveals that Christina has once again gone on a major shopping spree. George is furious and immediately tells Christina that she will no longer be joining them on the trip. He then spends the rest of the day brooding over what he has discovered. The following day, Christina joins Todd, James, and Sean at the Rovers, but she soon decides to leave because she is not feeling up to celebrating. A source close to the storyline explained that George feels deeply betrayed after discovering Christina has continued to spend money irresponsibly. He had already given her one final opportunity to change her behavior and promised that there could be no more dishonesty or hidden secrets. Christina feels ashamed that she has once again given in to temptation, but she is battling what appears to be a genuine spending addiction. The big question is whether George will be willing to forgive her and repair their relationship after returning home. Amy Robbins, who plays Christina, previously discussed the storyline and suggested that her character may have become accustomed to a luxurious lifestyle in the past. She explained that Christina's former partner, Daisy's father, was likely financially comfortable, meaning Christina may once have enjoyed a much more glamorous existence. However, her circumstances eventually changed dramatically. Before arriving in Weatherfield, she had been living on a friend's barge in Amsterdam, and it is believed she accumulated significant credit card debt simply to cover her rent and everyday expenses. Todd will also face further conflict on the cobbles, with another explosive confrontation involving Glenda set to unfold after his increasingly drunken and self-centered behavior. According to a source, Todd and Glenda's friendship is now effectively finished. Todd has been using alcohol to escape the emotional pain of the past year, but Glenda has unfortunately become caught up in the fallout. The source added that Todd's treatment of Glenda will be extremely difficult for her to forgive, suggesting their friendship may not recover anytime soon. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.